Hello everyone, Dragonfly here with another DCS World mission playthrough video in the AV-8B Harrier. Today we're going to fly mission 3 of the scenario that we've built up in the last 4 mission editor videos. And I'll read you the scenario on that and then we'll get started. Mission 3, the objective: Intel assets have detected 4 Hind helicopters in an abandoned airfield south of Kubaleti. Radio intercepts have determined that the helicopters are being refueled and rearmed for a follow-on attack on the Samtredia area. Planned takeoff time is 20 minutes from now. Destroy the helicopters before they can accomplish the attack. Contact the Regional Tactical Air Control Center, Warhouse, on COM2, channel 263 for mission tasking. Okay, so we're sitting here in a hot Harrier at our the FARP that we built in the mission. Really not much more than a road intersection. So the first thing we'll do is start the mission, and to do that we go on to COM2, and as it said in the objective, 263 is what Warhorse, the Tactical Air Control Center, is on. So let's put that in.
Dragonfly, Warhorse, how copy?
Loud and clear, Warhorse. Dragonfly, Warhorse. Intel confirms that the red helicopter flight has begun refueling. Expected takeoff time is 20 minutes from now. Destroy or disable all the helicopters so that they cannot complete their chemical drop on Samtredia. Now, another thing we're going to do mission related is we're going to assume that the enemy has moved their SAMs around, their air defenses, and so we're going to go ahead and put in random air defenses, or activate the random air defenses that we've built into the mission. So we go to our F10 menu, F1, add enemy SAMs, and now that's going to make it
Dragonfly, Warhorse, how copy?
Loud and clear, Warhorse. Dragonfly, Warhorse, heads up, SAM activity detected. So they've been activated, and we don't know where they're at, so it could make this mission pretty short. You know, in reality, we'd probably have some harm shooters up there to blast us a corridor for this mission, but it's just us today. So let's go ahead and get set up real quick. We don't have a loadout. Right now we're clean, so we need to get a loadout quick and get out of here. Chief, refuel. Chief, refuel. So it'll only be smart to take a couple of AGM sidearms for self-protection. And because of the way the targets are actually on a runway being refueled, I thought some Snakeeyes would be a good weapon to use. So we're going to load up with 6 Snakeeyes. And we'll put 2 on the inboard pylon and 1 on outboard. I'm going to go ahead and put a gun on board. And I'm going to live dangerous and not put an ECM pod on, so we may have to iron hand some missiles here. And we'll bring the fuel load down a bit to about 25,000 total weight.
Request refueling. Request Copy. Rearming. Copy.
Okay, and we'll get set up here while he's putting our weapons on board. I'm going to go ahead and go to, excuse me, to red on the map to be able to see it a little bit better. We don't have any predefined waypoints, but we do know that the target is south of Kubaleti. This is Kubaleti right here. So we'll initially head for the edge of the runway here and then turn to heading 180, 200 degrees and start looking for our target, because I think it's about 6 or 7 miles past Kubaleti. Tack in. For the FARP, it's channel 40. Altitude alert at 100. Radar on the altimeter. Okay, we've got our gas. Turn that light up. Auto on the chaff and flares. Actually, I want to keep that up for a minute. It's our takeoff data, so we can put that in. Alrighty, having some head tracker issues here.
Rearming complete.
I'll put the nozzle stop to 60. Turn the master control for the exterior lights off. Okay, that's all we'll do on that for now. Set a bingo. I'll go ahead and set 2000. It's not very far down there, so we may actually go a little below that if need be. Okay, that's all set up. Okay, let's go ahead and set up our weapons as much as we can on the ground. So we'll go to 82 high drag, because we want the high drag version of the Snakeeyes, because we're going to be going low and fast, because there's a lot of small arms fire down there at that airfield, and we want to try to surprise them and get as little lead pointed at us as possible. Okay, for the quantity, we're going to drop all 6 on one pass. So 6 enter. Multiple, we're only going to do one press. Interval 10 feet between bombs. I won't do the fuse yet. I am going to come down here to the panel though and go to CIP. Alright. Okay, we don't have to set up the sidearm, so that's done. We're going to take off to the west, just because I've tried taking off to the south here a few times, and that one tree out there makes it kind of a Yahoo maneuver. Need to send a couple Marines out there with an axe or something. The other thing we need to ensure, you see how it says caster up there, we want to be a nose wheel steering. NWS.
Caution, caution.
Parking brake is off. Slowly taxi, because this is not really a prepared surface. What was the takeoff data? Nozzle rotation speed of 85. We don't have to, but I'll go ahead and put that in the VSTOL master mode for the HUD, just so it will box itself. Now this one's going to be a little Yahoo too, because it's not really a really straight piece of concrete. Try to get it as straight as possibly can. All right. And full disclosure, on my first run through of this mission, the phone started ringing right during takeoff, and I wound up running off of the road. So I'm going to go ahead and edit this a little bit and bring us right back into the #1 position. The magic of DCS. So sorry about the break in the immersion, but sometimes real life interferes. So here we are, sitting back at #1 and ready to go. Again, the nozzle stop is set at 60. Water's on. Flaps are at STO. Stabilizer trim is 0. Let's give this another try.
Caution,
Parking
caution.
brake is off. Up to 80%. Smoothly up. Throttles back. Witch hat up into the pitch carrots. Start working the nozzles back to 0. Don't want the vertical velocity vector below the witch hat. Gear is up. The water is off. Flaps are in auto. Nozzles are continuing up. Power back below 100%. And I'll get back down on the deck until I figure out what type of air defenses we're dealing with, if any. I'll turn to heading of about 130 for a second. Let me look at the map real quick. Yeah, that puts us headed right towards Kubaletti. Down. I'll go ahead and fence in. Master arm on, air to ground. Views on the bombs I set to instantaneous. A little beep there was just my voice activation program. Just wanted to make sure it was on. That looks like we have an 8 down there. And it may very well be right in the area we want to go. So we will bring up the side arms. I'll turn that down a bit. There we go. It's not quite as bad. Still showing in the outer ring, which is the non-lethal ring, but that does not indicate his range, just his power output. Looks like we've got a snowdrift off to our left. That's an SA-11 search radar. Some chaff here. Turn off to the left here. Okay, looks like we got him. The real reason we can check here and make sure that the 8 did disappear off the RWR. Not looking at our cheat screen there, it did disappear. And right now we're showing a clean RWR, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to the Snakeeye high drags. Okay, get my situational awareness back. Head back towards Kubaletti and turn around, get a good run in. That's Kubaletti right there off to our left. We'll start our turn. Said I kind of want to be lined up with the end of the runway for Kubaletti. So that looks pretty good. And then I calculated a heading of about 200. See if we can see anything with our Mark 1 eyeballs here. You see all those V's out there, that's a heat source. That's probably our helicopters. Makes it a little harder to see, but lean forward here. Looks like we need to come a little bit to the left. We want to do it just like we're flying right down the runway. Try to drop right before the helicopters. There's our burning SA-8. 2. 2. 1. I didn't get the best external shot of the explosion, but we did see it looked like we hit them. Turn out over the water here. We were getting shot at pretty good, but I don't believe we got hit. So we're Winchester. I'll go ahead and go master arm off and go back to V-stall. The TACAN is selected, so 347 at 22 is our FARP. That snowdrift is still looking at us in the non-lethal ring. Turn to a heading of 353 and hopefully he won't bother us. So I still have one sidearm I can lob at him. 57. Let's get down a little lower, make it a little more difficult for him. He's up there at about 11 o'clock. Check our landing weight real quick. And let's see, 19,000, so that's good. The Harrier is very laterally unstable. And right now I've got that one sidearm. I think I'm going to go ahead and dump that just to make sure that I'm as laterally stable as possible. So about 10 miles from the FARP, I'll go ahead and pull the power back and just try to slow down to 350 by 5 miles. I think I'm going to land towards the north on this one. Maybe line up with that field off to the left of the northern highway. And try to do my vertical landing that way. Because of the highway, I won't need to do a completely hover landing. Make sure that nozzle stop is cleared. It is. Gear, water, flaps to STO. Nozzles bring them slowly back to 60. Down to about 325. The FARP's right ahead of us. 82 on the nozzles. Trimming the witch's hat up. Put the velocity vector just in front of where I want to land. About 40 knots. I'd like to show an external view of this, but I'm afraid if I did that, I'd crash. Okay, using a lot of power here. I'll land on the north road and just taxi. Velocity vector slowly down, coming down. And I really should have a caster, but I forgot.
Water, water. Water, water. Water.
We are
water.
down. It's funny how
Water.
that narrow road makes you feel like you're a lot higher than you really are. Okay, parking brake on for a second. And the water off. Flaps up. Nozzles to 10 degrees. Parking
Caution,
brake off.
Caution.
We'll taxi up to our intersection here. And then take a look at the the external views to get a BDA on those helicopters, see if we got them or not. Alright, this is a good place to stop. And parking brake on. Okay, let's take a look at the helicopters. Well, first that's us. And the airplane looks in pretty good shape. Much better shape than the helicopters. Looks like we destroyed two of them outright. Blew the rotors and tails off the other two, so these guys aren't going anywhere. So that's a successful mission. The way we built the triggers, you wouldn't actually know until 30 minutes prior till after you set the flag for starting the mission. And we're not going to keep the video running that long, but I think we can all agree that we did a good job on that one, and that we built the mission pretty nice. I think it was a lot of fun, so hopefully you all do too. Okay, well, till next time, Dragonfly out.